Welcome all to the Amir Shakur Speaks Morning Show with your host Amir Shakur. That'll be me, and welcome in. Today we're really gonna go ahead and get out into a lot of different issues that are going on around the country, and just putting the order and everything in correct parentheses, quotation marks, and we're here with you once again, and appreciative of that as well. And hopefully you guys had a good evening last night, and we look forward to having a great day today. So, if you just joined in, this is the Amir Shakur Speaks morning show, and we're opening up with a pause. The wake up, the goal, establish authority. Approaching the day with intention. So, peace and power to the early risers and the true seekers. And I do more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. Anyway, it's April 16th, and you're tuned into the heartbeat of the culture, Amir Shakur, and the sharpest mind in urban media, right? I think that's where we'll go. I'm struggling trying to get that coin, but I think it's the sharpest mind in urban media. Yeah, we'll work with that. And we're not just talking about what's happening. We are here to talk about why it's happening and what we're going to talk about. So, pull out your coffee, put it on the table, get you some donuts or bagel, and clear your mind and get comfortable because we're here. You're here with me. And if you want to join, feel free to come into the chat room and subscribe and share and join our great VIPs who are already in the house. Let me do that right. Our VIPs in the house. Like, subscribe, and share. Your voice matters. Right. You're so right. So, yeah, we got a pretty interesting news cycle today. And, due to a little bit of technical difficulties, we're okay. But anyway, coming to you from the heart of the city, live in the ABS Chicago Studio 1B. It's the morning on Thursday, April 16th, powered by Amir Shakur Speaks and ASN News. And again, redefining what it means to lead in your community. No filters, no scripts, just the uncut truth. And you're rocking with the sharpest mind in the morning. And that's what I said. It's my story. I'm sticking to it. Amir Shakur Speaks. So let's get into it. So, let's put it in order. So Chicago. If you guys are in the Chicagoland area and you wanna take a ride to downtown and you don't want to drive, guess what? We got an option for you. You know what that option is? Well, here it is. Chicago is officially launched its fleet of self-driving vehicles in the downtown Chicago. Yep. Waymo is being tested here, and the fleet is now active, according to the executives. And the city council is currently looking into debate and looking at the public safety, the job equity, and all of that. So, Waymo is here. And for those who don't know what Waymo is, it's the autonomous driving vehicle. So that means that you don't have to drive. You can kick up your feet. You can watch the Amir Shakur Speaks morning show and, let the vehicle do the work for you. How about that? Waymo is in Chicago. And what do you guys think about that? Taking a nice little ride down to downtown, and you don't have to drive. You can let the Waymo do the thing for you. So let's see if we have a video feed for that. And what's your thoughts while we're waiting on the video feed? Would you get into the Waymo vehicle and let it drive for you? How you feel about that? And this is not a new thing. It's been tested in many cities prior to now, especially on the West Coast, where Waymo's born, the San Francisco area to be exact. And it's definitely something that's made a big incentive, a big intention, a big splash, right? So Waymo, if you guys just want to chill and just want to kick back and let the car do your thing. You've had a long day. What about coming home from work? You had a long day drive and things were going busy at the job, and you called up the Waymo just like you do maybe Lyft or Uber, and you got in it, and hey, let it do its thing. Let's check it out and see what the actual news report is on it. And we'll
Waymos that we saw in downtown Chicago today, they actually all had drivers. And as you mentioned, they weren't picking up passengers at all. They were actually driving around the area, surveying Chicago streets for the time where they might be able to actually pick up someone. Two rows of Waymos in a downtown parking garage, their radar and camera systems clearly spinning, prepping to create a real-time view of the road for the autonomous vehicles. Would you ever take a Waymo?
No.
Why not?
They scare me.
Not everyone we talked to today was thrilled by the idea of a driverless car, expressing concerns over safety, especially with Chicago's specific traffic patterns, and in the case of snowy roads.
No one's driving it, and I don't know what it's programmed to do.
Illinois State Representative Cam Buckner has introduced a bill which would allow a Waymo pilot program in multiple Illinois counties, including Cook County. It hasn't passed yet.
I'm thinking changing my career, go somewhere else.
We met Hamid Sakane, a taxi driver of 15 years. He's terrified of what this could mean for his livelihood.
Business it's already bad because of Uber, so now they came up with the, driverless cabs, it's just going to get worse.
Waymo told us they're coordinating with community leaders and policymakers to make the service accessible in all communities. They insist their vehicles, which are already deployed in other cities like Los Angeles and Phoenix, are safe.
I've taken one and they're awesome. I think it's the other people you got to worry about, probably more than the Waymos.
Marie, no exact timeline on when we might expect somebody to be able to call a Waymo here in Chicago, but coming up at 6, we're digging a little bit deeper into what Chicago might need to do to prepare the streets for something like that to happen.
Chicago, if you guys are interested and you want to do the thing and you want to chill, autonomous driving is here. What's next for it? And again, for those who don't understand the concept, autonomous driving, or it's self-driving. These are driverless cars that you can get in and go to your destination, and it's programmed through the computer and streets and mapping and all of that. So expect public hearings in the next coming months as lawmakers weigh in on the benefits of tech against the potential displacement of traditional drivers, and even the economic factor like Lyft and Uber and even car drivers. So it's definitely especially in wintertime, something that I probably would not consider doing myself. But yeah, what do you guys got to say about that? You guys like that? Oh, you said that's cool. Okay. Something different. I like the idea. Okay. How? Oh my God! How will they do on Lower Wacker Drive? I know it's definitely a cluster there because the signal can't get through down there if you've driven that area, So I mean, yeah, that's interesting. And for those who drive Uber and Lyft and ride sharing, it might be a knock against them as well. So if you're just joining in, we're talking about the new coming, or the soon to be coming to expect, these Waymo autonomous driver, where Chicago's going autonomous. In the tech world and the urban infrastructure is colliding right here in Chicago, and Waymo is launching its first fleet of self-driving vehicles in downtown Chicago and certain areas. So it's definitely something that's still up for debate. It hasn't officially been implemented, but we're looking at within weeks. So it's Waymo, y'all. So check it out, research it. If you don't like it, go down to the meetings and let the folks know. If you love it, love the idea, just get ready to anticipate it to come. And the public hearings are going on as we speak. So that's that. All right. All right. So my next story is going to an area which I know and love so much, and an area that you guys know and love so much. You guys know I've been covering this area for a multitude of decades, and it's our good old Harvey, Illinois, right? What's going on out there in good old Harvey land? Well, basically, here we go. They've got this is not a bad thing, I should say. I shouldn't cap it like that. So the regional spotlight is on Harvey's revitalization and oversight. So if you're a Harveyite, okay, I used to be a Harveyite. If you're a Harveyite, basically development is picking up speed in the Southland and major shifts in the village of Harvey. With a $50 million move, this new coalition is unveiling plans for a massive development at 148th and Dixie Highway, right? And the project aims to bring 45,000 square feet of commercial space, 64 residential and apartments focused on seniors, and 22 townhomes. It's a community empowerment project. So the Harvey Beautification and Community Empowerment Program is currently in the spring cycle, and also this 30-week initiative is focused on ward by ward cleanup and leadership for youth. And every Saturday through September, you see Harvey Beautification. But going back to the $50 million move, that's currently being looked at, and in the midst of beautification by the empowerment program, we're seeing a slight change, because Harvey's been on the not just the local but the state, and a little bit of a national piece with some of its leadership who have been questionable and extremely challenged, and there's a growing contingent of us. Did you hear me say us in parentheses? That say that the leadership has been acting outside of public interest, and henceforth over the last year, you've seen our effort to empower change in there. And beautification is great, Harvey. We love it, relating to the ongoing reconstruction project. But we definitely want to make sure that you guys open up the books. We want to make sure that you are transparent. Financial transparency is a thing, and we need that to happen. And the phase 2 of the beautification project is the reconstruction project. I'm sorry, let's not get the two confused. Two totally different projects. The main reconstruction has been happening. If you're living in Harvey, you know what I'm talking about, from Wood Street to Broadway, and it's a dedicated beautification phase. So we're seeing that go on. So and they're even talking about green infrastructure and solar out in Harvey, which it's a change into the future. But we definitely need we need some relationship building out there, y'all. We need some improvement out there, y'all, when it comes to transparency and financial accountability at the same time. And we definitely need to, do some infrastructure, meaning some of those houses. Yeah, beautification means tearing down some of those blighted construction pieces, like burnt buildings and dilapidated housing. And, you guys will maybe within the next few years be on the path to, recovery, we hope. And that's with the right leadership. So I'm rooting for Harvey, and thank y'all for, just continuously trying to make the effort. And also, leadership means everything, because I think we use that word too sparingly. I think we got to use the word leadership, more wisely than what we do. So thank you, and keep up the good work other than that. And let's see how things go out there in good old Harvey land. All right. All right. What's your thoughts about the things that are going on out in Harvey? Remember Harvey's revitalization. Let me get that out. Let me get that right. In oversight. What did you say? Harvey needs this project. It would be great. Well, you know what? I hope that it would be what it is, and we're definitely rooting for Harvey to come back around. Lord knows, I've been on the ground. Anyway, that's cool. So, going back to the national politics, right? The relationship between Donald Trump and not just the national, the overall community and the rest of the world has been extremely challenged, right? But now the challenge is going to be beyond the rest of the world and into the next world, right? Oh my God, Mr. Trump does not disappoint in any way. And this picture that we've seen where Trump was saying, basically the imagery of a euro. Well, he actually became the image of Jesus Christ, and it sparked significant controversy recently, particularly following several social media posts by the president earlier this month, and even the ongoing conflict with Iran, which this is a whole totally separate thing. And the AI Jesus post 2 days ago, actually April 12th is what it was, a few days back, I should say. President Trump shared an AI-generated image on Truth Show, which that appeared to depict him in the likeness of Jesus Christ, and the image showed him in a white robe and a red slash, and a commonly used in traditional Christian art. You can see the slash, and he's healing people and bringing light into their life with his hands, and then he says, it wasn't me. That's a picture of a doctor. I'm depicting a doctor, and all this stuff. And after facing the backlash that is, both critics and religious supporters, the post was deleted after the backlash. And Trump told reporters he believed the image depicted him as a doctor, right? A Red Cross worker or something like that, making people better because he's, touching their heads with magical healing powers and all of that good stuff. And the observers noted the attire was historically biblical, so I didn't see a stethoscope or anything like that. I didn't see, there's no, there's no ER, no heart, I don't know, man. This guy is a real trip, okay? And just yesterday, the president shared another image depicting Christ standing behind and embracing him. And behind his, he was accompanied by the post targeting his political opponents, including the Pope, the current Pope Leo, and the tensions and the conflict with the Pope and religious leaders by the use of the industry is heightening, and the rhetoric is heightening. So not only is Trump battling the political world and having a military escalation, but he's having even a faith-based escalation. And Trump is, the Pope piece is he's been critical of the first U.S.-born Pope Leo, Chicago man. That's a matter of fact. Calling him he's terrible for foreign policy and weak on crime and all of that. So, it's definitely a backlash that's coming. I'm not a fan of Mr. Trump, and Trump says he's not a fan of the Pope, but I mean, speaking of the lesser of two evils, right? Right. So let's go ahead, and I think we got a video. If we can get that video queued up, and let's show the people what's going on. And I think Mr. Trump is in for a really crazy awakening. And it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. And I'm going to share with you guys what exactly I mean when I say the rude awakening. But let's see if we can bring that element to the screen, and we will.
President Trump is praising what he calls a full blockade of Iranian ports and claims that war could end sometime soon.
Over the past 24 hours, U.S. warships issued warnings to 6 vessels that passed through the Strait of Hormuz. Meantime, Iran is now threatening to block shipping from the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman, and the Red Sea.
NBC4's Conan Nolan following the latest developments out of the Middle East, including potential peace talks. Conan.
That's right. So the president today expressed optimism, as he has in the past, that the conflict in the Persian Gulf could be ending soon, possibly with an agreement, assuming peace talks will continue. But still, criticism of the conflict is not looked on favorably by this White House, even or especially if it comes from the man who sits in the chair of St. Peter.
On this motion, the yeas are 47, the nays are 52.
Another attempt by Democrats, another dead end, as majority Republicans in the Senate today refused to pass a war powers resolution that could have constrained President Trump's ability to continue the conflict with Iran, which Mr. Trump again says could be winding down, telling one news outlet it's possible the 6-week-old war will be over by the time King Charles visits the U.S. later this month. Yesterday, he said a new round of negotiations could be happening over the next 2 days.
Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official. official until you hear it from us here at the White House, but we feel good about the prospects of a deal.
For an agreement to take place, the president says Iran must end its nuclear ambitions.
Well, first of all, if they don't, we're not making a deal, okay? So there's no deal. This whole thing is really about no nuclear. They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Today, a Pakistani delegation landed in Tehran as part of a push to facilitate a second round of talks. And while the president focuses on ending the war with Iran, he's stepping up his fight with Pope Leo, who's criticized the war. The president saying he's not a fan of the pontiffs, and today reposting this AI-generated image of him hugging Jesus Christ, just days after removing another AI picture showing Trump as Jesus. That post drawing criticism from even his supporters.
I think the Pope is taking a position that comes straight from the Bible and his liturgical teachings, and that's never really a good look for politicians to cross swords with popes. Very seldom ends well.
Vice President J.D. Vance, also a Catholic, cautioned the pontiff.
If you're going to opine on matters of theology, you've got to be careful. You've got to make sure it's anchored in the truth.
The Vicar of Christ says he's not afraid of the president, and today continued his tour through Africa.
Although we have different beliefs, we have different ways of worshiping, we have different ways of living, we can live together in peace.
In Algeria today, the Pope said that, quote, God's heart is torn apart by wars, violence, injustice, and lies. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
All right, so if you're just joining us, we are here and we're talking about the situation that's going on and multiple things, including that clip was a little bit about what's going on in Iran and the international backlash. But we're hoping that conflict will come to a head rather sooner than later. And in the meantime, the buffoonery is going on with Mr. Trump and his imagery. And, I'm just going to say that, with everything else that's going on, I would think that someone in the White House would pull Donald Trump to the side and say, hey, you got a war going on, overseas in the Middle East. There's also a war going on in, internally with even down to your own mega folks. And, now you're starting a war going on in this life and the afterlife with the Pope and Jesus Christ and everybody else. And it's like, man, when does it stop? When does it stop? This image right here, and which leads me to this image. And you remember when I said, I think we got an answer, but, I think that, if here's an image, if Donald Trump wants to share images, I think our picture can tell 1,000 words today will be a great image. This is an image that I can share with Donald Trump. There you go, Donnie. All right, here we go. Donnie in court, and hopefully Jesus would be right there to guide him. What would Jesus do, Donnie? What you been tried in court, man? Not blasphemy, maybe a little bit of reality, because here's the thing, he's a big fan of branding. And I mean, Jesus would probably say, well, Donald, you're a big fan of branding. And, the God bless the U.S. Bible's move was a bold move. And I like that, Donald. And using my likeness in AI photos was an interesting artistic choice, Donald. But especially, when you gave me 6 fingers on my left hand in that last video. But, it's good to see you, Donald. And then Donald says, Jesus, you're a fantastic guy. Fantastic guy. Your ratings are very, very high. And then Trump says, reaching for a handshake, listen, we have to talk about the decor here. It's a lot of white. I don't see any gold and very minimalist. I'm thinking marble, some gold leaf, maybe putting the Trump Tower up here. And then, with the paradise and the singing and people loving it. And Jesus sighs and says, and taps his pencil, Donald, here's the thing. We've been watching since the 2026 campaign and beyond, to say the least. And the imagery I'm standing behind you in the courtroom, it's something that I want you to look at. And let's look at this imagery, because there's a lot of prayer requests around the world. I'm kind of busy with, things that are going on. And then Donald interrupts him and says, hey, Jesus, I made you a star again. Nobody was talking about you. Then I post the picture and boom, millions of likes. And even the Pope was talking about, terrible guy, by the way, that very weak guy. And Jesus smiles and kind of, suggests the lesson is coming. Then he says, Donald, I'm a big fan of the least of these. So your orientation, I've set up a special program. It's called the Ultimate Apprentice Humble Edition for you. And Trump says, I love it. Who am I firing? Or who's getting fired? And then that's when Jesus drops the boom on him and he says, bam! And then he shows this, then that's what happens. So, you know what? Donald, you gotta chill out, man. He says he doesn't think he's gonna make it, and maybe it's a premonition, and hey, somebody show Donald this picture, and maybe he might chill out. I don't know. I doubt it though. I doubt it. Anyway, what do you guys think? We're gonna leave that over for a minute. He should avoid making comments about the Pope. You like that? You like that? I think it's hey, this is a vacation for Donald. There's unfortunately there's no air condition. Maybe there's no gold or anything like that, but there's enough brightness that he might even like it, right? I'm trying to tell you guys, a picture can tell 1,000 words. Anyway, with that being said, I know I get a little corny sometimes. It's okay though. It's all out of fun. It's all out of fun. We're starting a special series to get a Constitution, guys. So if you guys are watching, you can come on board to the Amir Shakur Speaks broadcast channel, and you can check out some of the segments on that. And I love to have you participate. And, basically it's about, this Trump presidency and the overreach in the 21st century and, what it is. And, he's not going anywhere right now. So we can continue hacking him out, guys. That's really what it is. And yeah. Well, what do you guys think? You guys didn't have anything before we do the wrap up? Any questions, any comments? VIPs, where you at? So another day on the books, and we are here to say that, we're proud of you guys following, liking, and subscribing and supporting the channel. And, we got to summarize the vibe and get a mantra for the day. And that's what I like to do every day. I like to wrap up the morning session. So we've dissected headlines and looked into the mirror. But remember, the conversation doesn't just end when the mic turns off. Take what you heard today and let's turn it into a moment. Don't exist, right? Just in your community. Impact it, right? Check me out. Check out the moves that I'm making. And, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a paradigm for you to follow, and a good one at that, and impact it, right? Keep your head high. Keep your eyes open and your spirit untouchable. Not like some other folks, right? Keep your spirit untouchable. I'm Amir Shakur. I'll meet you right back here tomorrow morning. Same time, same channels. Until then, stay sharp, stay woke, and don't stay dangerous, but be a danger to the wrong people. Yeah. What did you say? What did you have to say? What do you expect from taco stupidity? Ooh, yeah. Always work towards positive impact. Thank you so much. Very positive stuff, ladies. Very positive stuff, folks. And hey, listen, we'll see you back here in the morning at 8 o'clock. Until then, I'm Amir Shakur. Amir Shakur Speaks, Amir King 7 Shakur, or Amir A.H. Shakur. And thank you for coming. And I'm out.